Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Get Out of Debt Guy podcast. I'm Steve, your trusted guide to not only tackle debt, but also move forward to make tomorrow better than today. Whether it's about finances or life in general, I'm here to help you learn, grow, and make smart choices for a brighter future. And speaking of making life better, I've got something special for you over on my Old Guy Insights YouTube channel. There I dive into a variety of important topics from personal finance to life lessons and everything in between. It's all about mentoring, educating, and helping you take steps forward. So just head over to YouTube and search for Old Guy Insights, or simply click the link in the description below to check out my latest video. Thanks again for tuning in, and remember, it is never too late to start making better choices today. If you thought my last video on debit card risks was eye-opening, just wait until you hear what I've got for you today. The hidden costs and dangers of using a debit card are way worse than most people realize, and trust me, banks aren't rushing to tell you this stuff. If you haven't seen my last video on debit cards, I highly recommend checking it out after this one because we covered some really important points. But today I'm digging deeper into some new reasons why using a debit card might be one of the biggest financial mistakes you can make. Hey, I'm Steve. I'm a grandfather, a former search and rescue pilot, and consumer debt expert. I've been helping good people dig out of bad debt since 1994. I'm the author of several personal finance books, and one of which was named the Washington Post Personal Finance Book of the Month. So, I've seen a lot when it comes to money. In my last video on debit cards, part 1, we talked about some of the risks associated with debit cards, but today I'm taking it a step further. Well, get ready because what I'm about to share could seriously save you from some big financial headaches. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, ring the notification bell so you don't miss some big upcoming videos. One is going to be all about credit repair and you don't want to miss it. So let's talk about something that really bugs me. You've probably heard some personal finance gurus tell you that using a debit card is better because it helps you avoid debt. Yeah, but here's the thing. That advice doesn't hold up when you dig into the facts. So why do they push debit cards so hard? Well, let me throw out a few ideas. A lot of these gurus focus on behavioral finance and they assume people don't have the discipline to control their spending with a credit card. I get it. They're trying to help people avoid going into debt. But here's the flaw in that thinking. It's all about fear instead of empowering people to use their money wisely. Credit cards don't lead to debt. Bad habits do. If you can drive a car without veering into oncoming traffic and own a set of sharp kitchen knives without stabbing people, you can use a credit card without falling into debt. It's about using it responsibly. Think of this. If you wanted, you could send a payment in daily to your credit card company to pay for new charges. Some of the simplified advice from popular personal finance gurus is just outdated. Sure, there was a time when credit card debt was a huge issue and people got in over their heads, but nowadays credit cards offer more protections and repayment options than ever before. Debit cards haven't evolved and these gurus are still treating them like they're the safer option. Plus, they love keeping things simple. Use a debit card and you'll avoid overspending. It sounds nice, but it ignores the real financial risks that debit cards bring to the table. And here's the deal. Not everyone is the same. Some people struggle with spending. Sure. But there are plenty of people who use credit cards responsibly and reap the rewards. The problem is these gurus often give a one-size-fits-all advice without considering that financial tools should be tailored to your situation. If you're responsible with credit cards, then why wouldn't you use them to earn rewards, build better credit, and protect yourself from fraud? Debit cards just don't offer those perks, but a lot of the time, that's left out of the conversation. And here's a shocker. If you have a credit card, the interest rate charged is the least important factor. If you pay your balance off in full each month, you are never charged interest, but get all the reward points to use like free cash. I haven't paid credit card interest in several decades, but I get all the perks. And let's not forget the best part of credit cards, those rewards. I haven't paid for a hotel stay in years or even some airline flights because I rack up points with my credit card, but a lot of these gurus conveniently leave out that part, assuming you'll overspend to chase rewards. Don't do that. And what about fraud protection? Credit cards cap your liability at $50 for fraud, and your money is never actually touched. With debit cards, your cash is gone the second someone fraudulently uses it. It could be days or weeks before you see a refund. And many personal finance experts don't emphasize this enough, and that's where their advice really falls short. So, what's the solution? It's not to fear credit cards, but to learn how to use them responsibly. These gurus mean well when they tell you to avoid debt, but their blanket recommendations to use debit cards misses the mark. If you're disciplined, credit cards give you rewards, better protections, and the ability to build credit. All things debit cards just don't offer. Like I said earlier, if you can handle your other responsibilities, you can handle a credit card. If you want to hear more about credit card protections and rewards, hey, check out my previous video where I break it all down. I'll link to it at the end. Now, you might have heard about overdraft fees, but here's something worse. Merchant penalty fees. Yep, some merchants will actually charge you extra if your debit card is declined due to insufficient funds. So, not only will your bank hit you with a $35 overdraft fee, but the merchant could pile on other penalty fees, doubling your financial pain. What started as a small mistake could quickly turn into a serious financial mess. So let's talk about refunds. You return something, something's canceled, you end a service, you dispute a charge. With debit cards, that refund could take days or even weeks to hit your account. And if you've got bills to pay in the meantime, you might find yourself in a tough spot. With credit cards, refunds are generally processed faster. Plus, you're not waiting to get your own money back. It's the bank's money on the line, not yours. You don't get that kind of security with a debit card. And if you're using a debit card when traveling internationally, you could get hit with some serious fees. Most banks charge foreign transaction fees every time you swipe your debit card abroad. Even if you use it in an ATM, you're likely to face extra charges from the local bank. And if your debit card gets lost or stolen, recovering your money can be a pain. You could be stranded without access to cash. But with credit cards, you've got travel perks like emergency card replacement and lower foreign transaction fees. So when it comes to traveling, credit cards just make a lot more sense. When it comes to financial freedom, building good credit is one of the most important things that you can do. Debit cards don't help you do it. They don't help you build credit at all. But using a credit card responsibly can boost your credit score. A better credit score doesn't just mean lower interest rates on loans or mortgages. It can also affect things like your insurance premiums, your ability to rent an apartment, and sometimes even your job prospects. Good credit isn't just about borrowing money, it's about opening doors to better opportunities. I've mentioned this in my part 1 video, but it's worth repeating. Banks love debit cards because they make money off every single swipe. Between interchange fees charged to merchants and overdraft fees when you make a mistake, debit cards are a steady stream of income for banks. In my last video, I went into more detail on why banks push debit cards so hard. So be sure to check that out if you want more insights about that. So if you thought debit cards were just a simple, convenient tool, I hope this follow-up video opened your eyes to the hidden dangers between overdraft fees, delayed refunds, bad personal finance advice, foreign transaction charges, limited protections, and other traps that can catch you off guard. If this video helped you and gave you some more valuable insight, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more tips and advice. And don't forget, I've got a big video coming out on how to rebuild your credit. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to see it. Hey, here's that part 1 video that I talked about. You really want to go watch it if you haven't seen it. Stay safe, stay awesome, and stay informed, and see ya!